Hey, I think it's going. It's going.
Okay.
All right. Okay. After comparing yourself, I guess we should probably introduce ourselves, right?
I'm Logan.
I'm Rex. Two guys in a car, and then I'm not going to finish that joke. After comparing yourself to one of the story's main characters, how did it make you feel when you found out what happened to you, in quotations? Do you think this is a realistic outcome? If not, why do you really think you would be different? Use examples and evidence to justify your response. So let's see,
I was Ralph.
you're Ralph and I was Jack.
Jack. Okay.
Back, Jack, do it again.
My perspective on it is the fact of, as Ralph, I find it like Ralph was brought into that position of power, and he almost did it without even thinking. It just came to him, and he didn't really ask for it. He just kind of did, and then he thought, okay, I'll try and fill the position as best as possible. And that would be very similar to what I would do. But when Ralph eventually like fell to like the anger and stuff,
Chaos.
I think I would still fall into that. Like,
Yeah.
pretty much everything that happened with Ralph is like exactly what I would end up doing. Like, I would try and be the leader. I would try and do my best, probably end up failing, fall to the madness and kind of just the primitivity of everything.
The madness.
And like
this thing.
during the hunt scene or portion of the book, when he goes after it, I would probably end up doing that as well. Like, I just think that I would fall into everything that Ralph did. I would get angry, but then try my best to counteract it.
I could see you running around with like mud smeared on your face, just like all over the place.
After a while, I'd probably just lose my mind and go into everything like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see, Jack. Of course, their whole tribe chaos thing. And now that like I was associated with Jack, we've gotten to the end of the book. I'm kind of like, I don't want to be associated with that kid anymore because I haven't killed anybody yet. But I don't think that I would kill little children like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or wait, let me rephrase that. I would not kill little children like that. Clarify.
Nice save. Nice save.
But I mean, the qualities I share with Jack. I mean, I'm headstrong. I don't really care about other people's emotions most of the times when it comes to making like decisions. Like, that's not a factor that I think of. I mean, you know me. If something needs to be done, I'm not going to care what you're feeling. Say I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I like to be leader. And I could see myself potentially giving into the madness because, hey, it's me. If I don't get a lot of sleep, I go absolutely crazy.
What high schooler doesn't go crazy without sleep?
Yeah, but you've seen me without sleep.
Okay,
That's scary.
But still.
Maybe not I wouldn't go to the violent side. I'd like to think that I wouldn't do that. And like, that's why I'd say this thing's unrealistic. Like, I mean, I know plenty of 11 to 12-year-old kids, right? And it doesn't matter what they're associated with, like, or what they think about. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think they'd go killing each other like that. So that's why I would say Jack wouldn't really be me. We have similar characteristics, but towards the end, I'd probably end up being more Ralph. And if we were to be like stranded on an island, I'd see it where it's like you'd be leader for a little bit, and then kind of once stuff started to get mixed up or people started to rebel or something like that, I could see me stepping in and being the leader because I'd
Mm-hmm.
knock some heads and be like, hey, do this.
Yeah, I would definitely falter. Like, not as a standpoint of like being a bad leader. It's just the standpoint of when people don't like how I do things, it's hard for me to like accept it and say, hey, okay, like, and when people do something not necessarily wrong, but against the way we've agreed to do them, so I guess wrong, but I wouldn't have the guts necessarily to step up and say, hey, fix yourself, we need to do this the right way, the way we've agreed upon, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd have the ability to step up and tell them, hey, this is how we need to do this, this is how we're going to do this, right?
Yeah, see, I think I'm kind of more one of those people. What I like to do, and any of you who have asked me for help on homework hate it that I do this, but I'd be like, okay, you want to do this? That's fine. Here's what I think. I'm going to tell you this. You go find out and do what you want, and then if what you're doing turns out to be completely wrong or gets you in trouble, which it will, don't come back to me crying. I will come back and I'll help you, but I'm not going to give you everything or punish everything. So it's like, if in that kind of a setting, if people are like not listening to me, then I'll be, okay, you know what? You go do this. come back to me when it's done. And now if like there's a whole group of people that are starting to say like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this, then I might bash some heads or something like that. But if somebody's like really kind of starting to question things, I'd be like, okay, you go follow that train of thought, see what's going on, come back to me. Like that kind of leader. And granted, I probably would bash several heads just because I think know, if somebody pisses me off too much.
I think the best example, though, to like decide who is most like what character, and that speaks for anybody, not just us, but I think the best example is what happened once they were on the island and once they started talking for just a little bit, like once they first collected, because Jack's first thought was, oh, we need food and we need like fire. Like he was the id at that moment. All he wanted was the primitive survival things we needed. When Ralph became that ego and was like, okay, let's be real, we're gonna need shelter for the night. Fire is easy, we can do that as well, but food we can wait about, we can survive a couple days, right? That's what he went into. So that fits perfectly with what I believe you and I, what we would do, because your first thing would be is, hey, we're gonna need food, we're gonna need fire, we need these basic things. Well, I would probably step back and be like, okay, we need to find a way to collect ourselves, get us gathered so that we know what we're doing, what we're looking at, who's here, what can we do, what can't we do, right?
You'd be the analyst, I'd be the go-getter.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And it fits like the character builds of those two people. And I think that's what kind of like sets who we would be. But at the end of it, here's kind of how I want to wrap it up. Like, at the end of it, do you think you were still, after knowing like the ending of the book, do you think you're still a Jack? Or do you think at that point you would have strayed more down the course of someone else? And that's extending past our three, such as Piggy, and then like you, Simon, or some of these other side characters, like Roger and some of these guys.
Because like at the beginning of the book, I saw myself as like a mixture of Simon and Jack.
Right.
But now that we kind of got to the end, I see myself as a mixture. This will sound odd because they're two very contrasting characters. I see myself as a mixture of Jack and Ralph.
Right.
Because Ralph was trying to focus on we need to survive. Jack was focused on gotta be the leader, let's do it this way. Ralph has proved wrong, let's take care of this great enemy, the beast. And so that's why I could see myself, because I'd be like, I'd focus on danger, but then I'd also focus on escape, and I'd still be very headstrong in the Jack character, but I wouldn't be as like
you'd be
bulking,
more like methodical,
and I wouldn't be as like timid as Ralph is at the end.
Right.
Because Ralph's like unafraid. Ralph's afraid to be physical or do stuff like that. Whereas I'd be like, okay, if this is really starting to go to chaos, I would be afraid.
Right.
But what about you, man?
I think my best like kind of assumption of what I would be is like at the beginning I was very like, yeah, I match with Ralph and how he goes about things. But as we got closer to the end of the book, I believe that I'm closer to what Simon does than anything. He is the one who knows the things, he is the one who is trying to tell everybody, and he's the one who's not believed. And by those 3 points, I think that that's where I would lie. So beginning of the book, I did believe I was in the Ralph category, but now at the end of the book, after seeing everybody and seeing how everything goes, I think I'm probably closer to how Simon would go about everything that happened on that island.
So in essence, Logan ends up dead, I rule everybody, we win.
Yeah.
Thank you. This episode was brought to you by Sonic. Where's the logo? Where's the logo?
They don't have. There's one right
there. Is there not a logo?
There's one right there.
It's brought to you by Sonic.